I want to thank to all the distinguished guests. I think I'm very much honored to be both sharing the hall with the greatest American president and the American Caesar in the Pacific. And to all the distinguished guests, it's an honor for us, a privilege to be part of this event tonight. I want to thank in particular Ms. Lang for inviting us. I'm joined tonight by my wife, Fides. She's a keen student of the different battles during the last World War. Both of us feel privileged and very much humbled by the opportunity to join the veterans, their families, and the Philippine Scouts in this special weekend. As we reflect on this year's 70th anniversary on the end of the last World War, I think many of you share our view that there is little comfort in the fact that there was no reprise of the last global conflict for the past 7 decades. We live in uncertain times where the pockets of conflicts and their knock-on globalization effect impact on our lives and our communities. Many of you may not have traveled to Libya or to Syria or Iraq, but fear the havoc being engendered by ISIS on that part of the world, as well as the minds of the youth in America and Europe. The teachings of Islam has been elaborately hijacked by ISIS and similar organizations to mislead and to drive hatred across many lands and convert faith and religions as doctrines of conflict. It creates uncontrollable trepidations in America. The episodes of Je suis Charlie in Paris, the assault in the Canadian Parliament Hill, and the Limp Chocolate Cafe episode of hostage-taking in Australia have made all of us aware of the dangers in our midst. And we also ask daily, who is Boko Haram? Who are the Houthis in Yemen? Why have they invaded our people's consciousness? In my own part of the world, our people is very much scared about our big neighbor in North Asia, who has created fears in the minds of regional leaders, as well as many democratic citizenry, on the absence of maturity in the rise of a regional power. A country that wantonly disregards the rule of law and is contemptuous of international cooperation in the pursuit of regional domination must never be tolerated. Islands and land features to the west of the Philippines and the overlapping claims by several countries should not be glossed over. If there is one clear lesson that we must learn from the last global conflict, this is one that we should be mindful today. Indeed, our generations of today face uncertainties and insecurities triggered from the lands that we may not have visited or heard of. Yet, the events happening in these places have serious impacts in our way of life. But just like the Philippine Scouts, we should not put our guard down, and we should not let our vision of the world be compromised. The stand of the valiant forces in the Philippines during World War II is a story of uncommon valor and shared sacrifices. There are certainly many significant accounts of heroism that continue to be legendary acts of courage. I am certain that during the past days that you've gathered as part of the reunion, you have occasions to reminisce, watch some of the movies, and share with one another stories about these uncommon acts of valor, and share with the generation of today the lessons of the past. We should also have a shout out done earlier to Dan Figuracion and the other Philippine Scouts. We cannot say enough to thank you for being part of that global effort during the last war. We also honor the memories of Sergeant Jose Calugas, First Lieutenant Alexander Ramsey Nininger, and First Lieutenant Willibald Bianchi, and every Philippine Scout. We remember General Ramsey. We remember the strategic value of the Scouts in War Plan Orange, in the derailment of the Pacific timetable of the Japanese Imperial Army. If we use the language of today, they are all game changers without any doubt. True heroes for every generation. The Philippine Scouts should never be forgotten. In fact, if I can be true to my generation, my speech should be just shorter. It should be hashtag Philippine Scouts. Queen Mary. Our generation must treasure the legacy of the greatest generation and the heroes who lived with them. In paraphrasing the words of the greatest Filipino hero, as he saw the certainty of his own death on the hands of our country's colonizers, and I quote, "I die without seeing the dawn's light shine on my country. You who will see it, welcome it for me. Don't forget those who fell during the nighttime." Indeed, many have taken definitive actions to manifest that we have not forgotten those scouts who have fallen during the nighttime. Each one of you who have joined this weekend celebration have certainly shown your commitment. And I think to follow on and Ralph, pay your dues, become a member of the PSHS. Yay! But we can do more. I think one great cause that we can rally behind is the evolving movement towards having a national recognition for Filipino World War II veterans, including the Philippine Scouts, for their wartime services to the United States from July 1941 to December 1946. Shared values, shared sacrifices, but the recognition have yet to be shared. One of the undeniable signs that these recognition efforts are long overdue is the fact that the number of surviving Filipino World War II veterans have significantly diminished. The formal grant of the Congressional Gold Medal to the Filipino World War II veterans will definitely put shine to the recognition earnestly sought and justly deserved. It is not an unusual request. The Tuskegee Airmen, the Navajo Code Toppers, the Montfort Marines, the Japanese-American Nisei soldiers all have this form of golden recognition. Let us do it now for the Philippine Scouts and the Philippine veterans and get it soon. Yes. My office, the Philippine Consulate in Los Angeles, would gladly rally behind these efforts and help you write to as many congressmen, as many legislators to get the recognition for the Philippine Scouts and the Philippine World War II veterans. So I leave you with these words, and with the hope that we get it soon. Mabuhay po ang Philippine Scouts, mabuhay ang Filipino, God bless America.